Hey guys, this is Miss Arlequin, and in this video, I just want to do a quick review of how we write about an author's diction. So we know from class that diction is the author's word choice. So when we look at diction, we're looking to see what kind of language or words the author's using. Are they using colloquial language or more formal academic language? Are they writing the characters with a dialect? Are they using a lot of slang words? Or are they even using words that have strong connotations, either very strong positive connotations or strong negative connotations? Now, what I'm noticing is that we're having some trouble properly explaining or elaborating on the author's use of diction. So we have our text evidence, and our text evidence is showing diction, but our explanation sentence is not really going into depth about how your text evidence is an example of diction. So, what you basically want to do is you want to first identify the type of diction. You want to identify the specific word or phrase that best shows the use of diction. So if you quoted a whole sentence, what part of the sentence are you really looking at? Is it a specific word that has a strong negative connotation? That's why you chose that text evidence. You got to call the reader's attention to that. You want to explain the meaning. So what's the denotation of the word, the dictionary definition, or what's the author trying to say with that phrase? So you got to do a little explanation. And then you have to elaborate by explaining why the author made the choice they did. This is your deep thought part of your writing. This is the analysis. So, why did they use slang? Or why did they use that particular word choice? Why didn't they choose a synonym that means something similar but has a different connotation? How does their choice affect the meaning of the text? Is it creating a mood or is it conveying tone? Is it developing an idea? And then use the what if strategy. Remember, the what if strategy is a way to really get deep analysis. So, what if the author had chosen a different word choice? Tell us what other word choice they could have used or how they could have phrased it differently and how that different choice would have affected the meaning of the text. So, just to give you a basic breakdown, your explanation would look something like this, only you don't want to be as obvious with the statements, with the word choice. The evidence is, again, don't write the evidence is, but your sentence should be the text evidence. This is the text evidence part. So you're going to give your evidence, and then you're going to explain this is an example of diction because. Then talk about what the author could have done, the what if. The author could have written, or they could have chosen this word, and then what does it show? Because they didn't make that alternate choice, what is the actual evidence showing? This is the meaning behind it. All right, so I'm going to show you an example of what it might look like with the story The Chaser. In The Chaser, John Collier uses diction to convey the idea that Alan will be returning to the old man's shop. Specifically, Collier uses the French phrase au revoir as Alan leaves the old man's shop. Collier chose this phrase because the French meaning is until we meet again, which is a little different from just having the old man say goodbye. Au revoir implies that the old man expects to see Alan again, which leads us to predict that Alan will be returning to purchase the glove cleaner. All right, so you can see that here we have a lot of explanation. The text evidence is really just this one phrase, and all of these other sentences is the explanation of the diction.